Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm doing a video quite similar to one I've done in the past. If you remember, I've done a tier video for Celtic players. I think it was some point at the start of the season or last season, something like that. And I basically ranked the Celtic players on a worth to Celtic and on their current form at Celtic, whether or not they were the best players there, whether we should sell them, blah 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 blah. Today, I'm going to be doing something quite similar but with the Scottish national team now. Wee bit past the games now, we're kind of back into club football this weekend, so maybe I'm a bit late with it, but after sitting down evaluating over the past two games under Stevie Clarke and under this Scottish national team, I thought it'd be good to discuss who is still of worth to Scotland, who we should drop, who is our best players, ultimately the overall situation with our squad. I'm going to rank from the players who are best to the players who are basically, you know, they shouldn't be there, they shouldn't be in the national team. Now, if you want an opinion on my current, opinion and the status on the Scottish national team, especially with the heat that Stevie Clarke has came under over the past couple of international breaks, then that is a separate video because I could be here all day talking about that and the overall catastrophe that is the Scottish national team. Today, purely all we're looking at is the players and whether or not they are still fit enough to be wearing a Scotland shirt. So we're going to get right into it. I have got the graphics and everything. We're going to be going through it all. I'm going to try and go as quickly as possible because there's 33 players that have involved in this. Now obviously Scotland's usually a 23, or any international team is normally a 23-man squad. But today I'm going to be looking at 33 players. Players who just missed out through injury, players who do normally get called up but weren't in the past time. But the 23 players from the call-up just past us there with the Russia and San Marino game will be involved, plus 10 bonus players. So if I was to speak about a minute and every player would be here for 33 minutes, that's not ideal. I know you don't want to listen to all that. We're going to try and fly through as many as possible and talk about the kind of key players and the worthless players. The ones I have to highlight we'll speak about first, or we'll speak about mainly, but I'll just got to go through in a random order. So anyway, I feel like I've spoken enough for the introduction. If we want to get through this, we better hurry up. Let's get right into it. Right then, okay, I've got my graphics on screen. Now, it's going to be quite difficult to focus on this and the camera, so I'll be in the corner anyway. I'm not that important. What's mostly important is this. So you can see the players. Sorry, some of the players' faces have been cropped out a little bit. If you don't know who they are because of that, don't worry. I will explain. But I've got the 5 sort of tiers here that we're going to try and differentiate the players into. We've got not fit to wear the shirt, could dump / improve, so not that important, but they could improve as a player. Maybe they are of worth, but if we dumped them it wouldn't really matter. The average and keep players, the players who are there to make up the numbers, are solid enough and there's no reason to drop them. The good players, which are the players that should be getting called up but aren't quite the best. Our best is the top tier, and there's only probably going to be a handful of players in that tier. Obviously, a lot of Scotland players are guilty of playing fantastic at club level, and then when they come to the Scottish national team, they do not perform to the level they should. And that could be down to both their own attitudes or also how the manager is using them. It's going to be quite hard to differentiate that, and I'll come to certain players and we'll talk about that. So let's just go right into it anyway. So the first player we have got on our list is Celtic goalkeeper Scott Bain, who obviously isn't Celtic's number 1 anymore, which means he's Scotland's number 1, not by a far cry. But have Scotland got a great wealth of keepers? Nah, not really. The keepers are not great at Scotland. If it was up to me, Scott Bain would be in the average / keep section. I mean, I don't think he was called up in the last shout, but do you know what? He's there to make up numbers. Okay, the second player on our list is Callum McGregor. Obviously, I have voiced my opinions on Callum McGregor a lot in the past. He's probably my favourite Celtic player. He's absolutely class, and if Scotland used him right, he would be easily one of the best players in the team, but he hasn't been used right in Scotland, which makes me want to put him in good. But if we can sort that out, he's easily one of our best players. And I know you might be saying that's biased because you're a Celtic fan, but it's true. Callum McGregor is easily one of the best players in the country, and potentially the best player at Celtic. And there's a lot of competition in that midfield, but he's fantastic. Great player. He is one of our best. We just need to sort him out, and Stevie Clarke has to play him in the correct role. Next player, Ryan Christie. He's gone into the good category. He has came onto a fantastic game right now, playing like one of the best players in the Premiership. Fantastic talent, very young as well. He needs to be consistently called up. His confidence is growing every day. A fantastic player. The next one up is Mikey Devlin of Aberdeen, obviously former Hamilton player as well. You know, you could put him in a could dump, could improve. Our centre-back situation at Scotland is atrocious. It's terrible. We don't have a good centre-back partnership. We don't even have really good centre-halves. And it's hard to even put Mikey Devlin in a category because he's not had a massive amount of time playing for Scotland. And Aberdeen have been struggling as of recent. So where does he fit in here? I'm going to put him in the first player to go in the could dump improve category because he can improve. But if we were to drop him, would it make a difference? Because the centre-back partnerships are that bad that it probably wouldn't even make a massive difference. And that brings me on to the next centre-back here, and that is Findlay of Kilmarnock, former Celtic player. Stuart Findlay scored against San Marino the other night. I think it's the same sort of situation with centre-halves. You know, they need to improve. But if we lost him, would there be that much of a difference? Now, below those, and you'll be saying, well, if we did drop him, who do we replace them with? That is the main question. Yes, there's no really any great options to replace him with either, but that's just kind of the situation we find ourselves in as Scotland fans and the Scottish team. Next player up, Stephen Fletcher. No question, not fit to wear the shirt. He hasn't been fit to wear the shirt since he probably left fucking Hibs over a decade ago. I voiced my discontent towards Stephen Fletcher being in the national team for many years. He's getting old now. I don't even know, he might be even retired from the national team, but not fit to wear the shirt. Stephen bloody Fletcher, that just... You know, you're chasing games under Strachan, you were chasing games, chasing qualification, and you bring on Stephen Fletcher as your answer for a goal. It's not what you want to see. Next player, James Forrest. Same situation as Callum McGregor. James Forrest has easily got the quality and the potential to be one of Scotland's best, but just doesn't seem to find the same sort of, you know, form for the Scotland team. And it could be down to his own attitude, it could be down towards how managers are playing him. You've got Fraser as well just beside him. Fraser, who is tearing it up for Bournemouth at points to the Premier League, once again goes to the Scotland team and doesn't show the same sort of quality. They're two very similar players in very similar situations for their club and country. Both of them I do want to put in our best, but I don't think I can. I think I've got to put them in good, purely because I don't think they have the same amount of potential as what Callum McGregor does to run that team through the middle of the park. That's why I've got him in one of the best. I think those two fit very well in the good category, but they could very well be up in the best. Maybe even Fraser moves up there. Do you know what? We're going to put Ryan Fraser in our best because he's a Premier League player, playing good the majority of the time for Bournemouth, playing very good for Bournemouth. He's going to go up there. Next player, Motherwell centre-half, Declan Gallagher. Once again, I think every centre-half is going to find himself in the could drop improve. Very young, with a lot of potential, could offer so much to Scotland in the future, but right now, would we notice a difference if we dropped him? A lot of people are going to disagree with me, I think, on these three choices, Devlin, Findlay and Gallagher. I don't quite know if they should be moved up to the average keep category. We can review it at the end. Craig Gordon could dump and improve. Definitely, because he's getting older, 36, 37 years of age. He's getting to that point again where he's picking up injuries. He's not going to be the Scotland #1 again. If we were to drop him completely from the team, obviously he's not been in the team for the past couple of selections due to injury. If we were to drop him, would we notice a difference? I think his days as a Scotland goalkeeper are behind him. Next player is John Fleck. Not fit to wear the shirt. Now, I understand he's playing in the Premier League. He's playing with Sheffield United. He's getting game time. But did I ever imagine a day where John Fleck would be a Scotland player? No, I did not. And I don't think those days should be happening. Kieran Tierney, the only one category he can go into as well, are best. He's back now. Hopefully he'll be in the next Scotland squad selection. The only reason I think he was left out is because he's just returned. He's not played enough club football. But even with the couple of appearances so far he's made for Arsenal, the Arsenal fans are buzzing about him. They think he's fantastic. They think he's incredible. And a fantastic signing. Honestly, Kieran Tierney is going to be massive. Just, you know, that left-back situation at Scotland, we know what it's like. Kieran Tierney, though, is easily one of our best players. David Marshall, average/keep. Do you know what? It's sad that our first-team keeper is David Marshall. To be fair to him, he does put in some solid performances, but come on, David Marshall, that is our best Scotland keeper. It's 2019, and David Marshall is our goalkeeper. Unbelievable. Oliver McBurney, not fit to wear the shirt. For one main reason, he doesn't even want to wear the shirt. We've seen it, we all know the video, and he's not even a good fucking striker. He's rotten. I know he's in the Premier League, just got a £20 million move to Sheffield United. Will always be a head scratcher to me. A lot of people are not going to agree with my opinions in this video, but Oliver McBurney, no chance. Is he fit to wear the Scot? It's Scot? Aye, the Scot, that's it. Next player, John McGinn. There is no question where he goes. Our best. John McGinn, for me, is the best player, maybe along with Robertson, in this Scotland team. John McGinn is incredible. It saddens me knowing that he's at Villa, not Celtic, but maybe that was for the best in his career. because Aston Villa are getting the absolute best out of him. Scored a hat-trick against San Marino. I guess anybody can do that. But, you know what? Once again, one of those situations where I think at Scotland, he's not getting utilised to his fullest potential, and he has been hiding a little bit, but there is no doubt he's one of our best players, and if we play him right, he could be the man who runs the whole team. Along with McGregor in the midfield, those two are a deadly centre-mid partnership if they play their best together. We're still waiting for it, but for me, he's one of our best players. Stuart Armstrong, average/keep. Obviously fell off a little bit since leaving Celtic. He's not had as much game time for Southampton to warrant being a starter for Scotland. But he's a creative player, a guy who's got a lot of good attributes to his game, a lot of, you know, he's a well-rounded player. Attacking wise, he offers a lot, but he's not doing enough at Southampton to really have the confidence in his Scotland game. But I'd certainly keep him around the squad, because when he does hit that kind of creative point in his game, he's a very good player. Scott McKenna, once again, I'm going to put him in the average/keep because he's a bit more experienced. I don't rate him that highly, but he's a bit more experienced than the other three guys there, who I've put in the could dump/improve section. But Scott McKenna is a player who I think struggles to play consistently, but if he plays well, he's a tough guy to play against, and we've seen that firsthand as Celtic fans. So I'm going to put him in there. John McLaughlin, once again, is an average/keep. We've got no standout keepers. It's the same sort of situation as Bain and Marshall. He's there for depth, really. I'd keep him around. Right now, those are the three kind of mainly called up keepers. I mean, Gordon's in there as well, but he's getting on a little bit. McLaughlin's a bit younger. Kenny McLean. I think Kenny McLean is an average/keep player. He was left out of the recent squad, I believe, but he's a good player. He proved that at Norwich in the Championship, helped them win the league. He was a key part of that. He's got a lot of good points to his game. I do like Kenny McLean. I think he's a solid player, and I think if once again he can find fitness and consistency in a Scotland shirt, he offers a lot of competition at midfield and a lot of quality to that midfield as well. The next player up, Scott McTominay. I'm going to put him in the good section. I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that. I just believe Scott McTominay is a boy with a lot of potential, with a lot of really big positives in his game. But the situation at Manchester United just now is probably bringing down his confidence a little bit. If United were playing well, as they should be with the team they've got, and he was still a part of that United team, there is no doubt he'd be one of the best for Scotland. But I believe the confidence from his game is probably really low at the minute because of how badly United are performing. But he's consistently in the United side, whether it's on the bench or on the park. He's consistently getting called up for Scotland. He's a good player. There's no doubt about that, and he's still really young. Lewis Morgan, not fit to wear the shirt. Obviously, was just brought in to the squad as a last-minute replacement, but he doesn't play for Celtic, which means why he's not getting first-team football at Celtic, so why should he for Scotland? I do like Lewis Morgan. I think he's got potential, but he's probably not fit to wear the shirt, let's be honest. Charlie Mulgrew, not fit to wear the shirt. He's past it. He's playing in League One in England. Why are we consistently calling up Charlie Mulgrew? Just because he's got experience? He was an amazing player for Celtic. One of the best Celtic defenders I've seen in my lifetime. But he's useless now. And people are going to consistently bring that up about Charlie Mulgrew. They're just going to berate him consistently. Not fit to wear the shirt. Along with this man, Stephen Naismith, not fit to wear the shirt. For Hearts, he's had some incredible performances. But once again, getting older, why keep around people for a little bit of nostalgia? So Stephen Naismith, not a chance. He is one man who I'd be definitely leaving out. Stephen O'Donnell, I'm going to put in the average keep section. We have pretty much have no right backs apart from him that offer quality. And his quality might not be the greatest, but it's something. We need him there. We need him there to make up the numbers. Ollie Buck. Now, could dump/improve. A lot of people were saying, why are you not putting him in the not fit to wear the shirt category? He's garbage. I think he's got something to offer, and it's just about finding his game again. And that's why I've got him in could dump, because if we dumped him even for a little bit till he went away and found that form, he's definitely of use to the Scotland team. He needs to work on his first touch, his finishing and such, but he's got a lot of pace, a lot of power. And we've seen those positives when he first came to Celtic. We've seen how good a player he could be, and then it just dipped as soon as Rodgers left. And now he finds himself in Spain in one of those situations where he's like, I just need football. So he's definitely got something. I wouldn't say he's not fit to wear the shirt. He's just not good enough to be somebody who we consistently call upon. So I'm going to put him in there. Liam Palmer is also going to go in that category. I believe he's a really, you know... I don't even know. Maybe not fit to wear the shirt. Maybe he goes in there. What do we do with Liam Palmer? We'll come back to Liam Palmer. I think we're just going to put him in the could dump / improve. I don't even know too much about him. He plays for Sheffield Wednesday, of course. He's playing in the Championship. He's made 7 appearances so far this season. He's also been called up for Scotland as of recent. I've not seen enough of him to have a valid opinion on him, so I'm going to leave him there. Next player, Andy Robertson. One of the best. He's the best left back in the world. But once again, for Scotland, he just goes into hiding a lot. But he is one of the best. There's no doubt about that. We know how good he is. I don't even need to speak on him that much. We just need him to start playing his best football. Him and KT is such an annoying situation because both of them are class. Sheer class. Reason why both of them play for top 4 sides in the Premier League. But Andy Robertson is not the captain of Scotland. We need to change that. He's not a captain. Just make him play how he plays for Liverpool, and we have a right good positive there. We just need confidence alongside him as well in the centre-half positions, and we have got a superb left-back, the best in the world, for Christ's sake. It's just such an annoying situation. Johnny Russell, not fit to wear the shirt. He's playing in MLS, for God's sake. That's when you know you're not good enough. Right, I know what you're going to say, oh, but fucking Zlatan, blah, 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 and this, that, next thing he plays in MLS. It's a retirement home. It's where you go to just get a wee bit of money. Johnny Russell is not fit to wear the shirt. Ryan Jack could dump / improve. Rangers fans, I'm sorry. I know I'm going to come under abuse here. I'm not even going to drink my water because it looks cocky, doesn't it? Look, Ryan Jack is okay. He's severely overrated. I don't even think he's the best centre mid at Rangers, never mind Scotland. And with the competition alongside him, McGregor, McGinn, who's it, Christie, you know, there's a lot of good people. Armstrong, a lot of good people. A lot better people in the middle of the park. But he's solid. He could improve. But if we were to drop him, we're not going to notice anything. So that's just the truth. Lawrence Shankland, he's only made 1 appearance, hasn't he? Or 2 appearances. Shankland could go in there, could improve. He's got to get to the top level, I think. And he will get to the top level. And when he gets there, I think it'll be key for Scotland. He could be the goal scorer. But you know what? He's going to go in there just now. Robert Snodgrass is just retired, so we don't really need to worry about him as much, but we're going to put him not fit to wear the shirt anyway. I know he's had a couple of good performances again for West Ham, but he's useless, and he shouldn't still be getting called up for Scotland. John Souttar, I think he's in the average and keep section of the team. I think he's got a lot of potential, a lot of talent. Once again, those one of those situations where I think the confidence really knocks him down. And the final player who I've got in here, as I need to sneeze, is Greg Taylor, who I'm also going to put in the could drop / improve category of the Scotland team. Because he's not playing for Celtic at the minute. He's still, I believe, to hit a top level of football. We've also got 2 class left backs already. Now, average and keep might be a better section for him, but I believe he's one of those ones as well where he could drop or improve. It could drop him and we wouldn't notice. And it can certainly improve because he's still really young. So that's where I think I'm going to put him in there. Now, there's 2 players who I left out, and that is Liam Cooper and Lee Griffiths. Griffiths, if I was to put in, it would be good. Could dump and improve because he's got to get back to playing football. And Cooper I probably put in the could dump and improve category as well. Just forgot to add them into the list as I remember towards the end of the video. So that's about it. That's how I rate the Scotland national team at the minute. If you have a look here, we'll quickly run through it. Not fit to wear the shirt: Stephen Fletcher, John Fleck, Colin McBurney, Lewis Morgan, Charlie McGrew, Stephen Naismith, Johnny Russell and Robert Snodgrass. Could dump / improve: Devlin, Finlay, Gallagher, Gordon, Buck, I'm fucking running through here, Palmer, Jack, Shankland and Taylor. Average keep: Bain, Marshall, Armstrong, McKenna, McLaughlin, McLean. I'm forgetting who players are now as I look at them. Souttar. The good category: Christie, Forrest and McTominay in our best, McGregor, Fraser, Tierney, McGinn and Robertson. That's my list. Let me know yours in the comments below. I've went on enough. A lot of people are going to disagree with me on this. This is my opinion though. So if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. I'm very sick at the minute as well. That's why I've not been making videos. I'm very, very sick. I'm very red now, you might notice. And my voice sounds really weird as well. But I wanted to make this, so I tried. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.